I think we are live. Yep, we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ingram Jones. I'm on a different computer at the moment, not my own, but wherever you are in the world. Anyway, thank you for choosing to join in to Bayloric TV's live show. I think we are live. Yep, we're live. Wherever you are in the world, my name is Ingram Jones. Yes, we're live. And finally, having using somebody else's computer, because my one's not with me, I'm using my dad's computer, so don't panic too much. But we're here. So I've got people in the room, so we'll talk to everyone in the room at the moment. But I want to start by saying this. Keith Thurman, Terence Crawford, Bermain Stavern, Tyson Fury. Those are just a few of the names that Bayloric TV has brought to you. And we've seen them grow from challenger to champion. And Tony Bellew as well. And now we have Alexander Usyk, the new WBO cruiserweight champion of the world. And with his trainer, James Ali Bashir, or to those people who watch Bayloric often and have followed the journey since 2013, Uncle James Ali Bashir. And I just want to take a moment to say it's pretty emotional at the moment talking about this, because I know Uncle Bashir and the struggles he's had behind the scenes. The whole, people ask the question why he's not the head trainer for Klitschko and how Jonathan Banks has got the job. It's a question that's asked over and over and over and over again. But you've now seen what he can do as a trainer. And tonight you've seen with Alexander Usyk put on a masterclass performance. And Bashir now has his first world champion. And it was just brilliant to see Usyk tonight. For those people who doubted Alexander Usyk, I had very little doubts. I had some doubts because I'd never seen him do the 12 rounds against such a top quality operator. And I want to give this moment to shout out to glowacki, who fought tooth and nail for 12 rounds. He was outclassed. He wasn't a skilled fighter, but boy, did he show heart. Boy, did he show guts. Boy, did he show a great chin. There were some bombs that Usyk landed his chin when he put in 3 and 4 punches together. Class, absolute class. And glowacki stood there and took the punches. I was listening to the commentary from Sky Sports team. I was stunned. I listened to some of their commentary simply because I knew Bashir had been training Usyk not just for this fight, but from day one he's been training Usyk to train 15 rounds at a time, and stacks of 15 rounds, building up to his 10th fight. Then take into consideration what he'd done as an amateur as well. So Usyk tonight put in a world-class performance with only 10 fights. Frightening. Could you imagine him with 20 fights, 30 fights? So I think he's put on a great performance tonight. And at one moment I was a bit concerned because I thought that they were going to do, we didn't hear the scorecards straight away. I was starting to get concerned. But when I heard the scorecards, I was saying there's no way glowacki would have won that fight. And the scorecards were just so wide, absolutely so wide. And I'm delighted. I'm delighted for James Ali Bashir, Uncle James Ali Bashir, because now he has a world champion, and he can proudly sit down and say, I have a world champion, a fighter that has put the effort in, a fighter that showed him the respect, and a fighter that has now gone on and delivered the goods. There were a lot of people across the YouTube community and the boxing community that were waiting for Bashir to fail tonight. They wanted Usyk and Bashir to fail. They didn't think he was worth the hype. They didn't think he was good enough. Some people thought he boxed like an amateur. Well, if you think that Usyk boxed like an amateur tonight, then I'm afraid that you know nothing about boxing. Usyk put his punches together, 3-4 punch combinations. He was in and out to the sides. Those people who on Twitter heard what I was saying. I said early on in the fight that Usyk was going to box behind the jab, take his time, and take a good look at glowacki. And second half of the fight, Bashir told me, and even if you listen to in the interviews, those who'd listened, he said that glowacki's stamina wasn't the greatest. He didn't think that glowacki, second half of the fight, would tire. That's exactly what happened. And then Usyk started getting onto the front foot, still aware of glowacki's punching power. But to move all that time, to keep yourself, at distance, to stop yourself from getting hit with big shots, be able to land your own shots, not when you're engaging, in knowing when to engage or when not to engage. Usyk boxed like an old man in there. An old man, he boxed like an old-fashioned boxer tonight. He boxed like an old-fashioned boxer. And I say last night because of the time, but he boxed like a real pro, and it's 10 fights. So you take away the thing that he's had 10 fights, also add what he's done in the amateur ranks. And remember, he did it with amateur ranks with a head guard off. He was sparring Klitschko and giving Klitschko hell, and you weren't allowed to watch the sparring sessions. You saw what he did against Joe Joyce. So you've got to say to yourself, Usyk is a heavyweight in waiting. So enough of me ranting and raving. Congratulations to Alexander Usyk and James Ali Bashir. I'm just proud for Bayloric TV to have had Alexander Usyk and Bashir on the show, and we covered it. We covered with exclusives. I know the quality of the videos weren't great at the time, but they were up in the mountains. We brought you the best we could at the time. So, without further ado, we've got people in the room. Let's get talking to those people in the room. Flex says, "Whoa, Usyk did it, 100%." Don Flamenco says, "Missed it. I was cold king my bathtub." Okay, Don Flamenco says, "Hi Ingram." Tom CFC says, "Great fight." Mark Wheeler says, "Usyk was class. I like him." Keep Calm on Boxing says, "Hi mate, congrats." Flex says, "Yeah, great fight. Keep Calm on Box on. I hope you get Bashir on the channel again soon. I'll be talking to Uncle Bashir in a couple of hours time." Guess I have to send him a link for the Liam Smith Canelo fight. So I'll be sending him a link for that as well. So I'll be talking to Uncle Bashir later. But yes, Uncle Bashir is going nowhere. He's on the channel, and you'll be hearing a lot more of Uncle Bashir. And I hope now the boxing community give Uncle Bashir the respect he deserves. It's all right talking about all these other trainers, but here's a guy that deserves his respect. People need to listen to him a lot more. So I'm over the moon about this, and the fact that, you know, Usyk is now champion. And I'll let you something now. Usyk is a bit of a character, a real character. Alexander Usyk, really nice guy. A personality to the cruiserweight division, and you're looking now at a potential global superstar if they do the right things with him. I hope that Usyk's got the opportunity to travel abroad. He's gone to Poland. Seeing him boxing in the UK would be fantastic. Gav Scott says, "I picked glowacki the other night, and then I watched a documentary on Usyk and a few fights and changed my mind. He is the real deal. I missed the fight. I'm about to watch it now." The other thing you've got to say is, now, I don't think they mentioned it, but I do believe, if I'm correct, that Usyk won the Cruiserweight Championship of the world ahead of Evander Holyfield. So he is I think he did it in less fights. I think Holyfield did it in 12 or 11 or 12 fights, and Usyk did it in his 10th fight. Boxing Legends TV. Usyk is goddamn sick as hell. Bellew would get schooled. Congratulations to him and Bashir. Yep, I think Bellew knows it himself. Tom CFC says, "I would like to see Usyk versus Lebedev or Huck versus McKenzie winner." I'll tell you something. You look at Usyk's footwork. There's no one in that cruiserweight division that's got footwork like Usyk. And you see it for yourself. Lebedev is flat-footed, and he's got a big left hand. But you saw what Guillermo Jones did to him and busted up his face. So that'll tell you something. Huck versus McKenzie, that is a better fight. I think Huck versus Usyk would be a great fight. But Huck is clumsy, but he's experienced. So a great fight there. And then hail to new Cruiserweight King. Good evening. CC2971 says, "Reddit boxing streams, best for streams." Thank you very much for that. Mark Wheeler says, I saw the Usyk documentary. Boxing Legends, Marius Breedis is a danger man. Absolutely, he's a danger man. But I still believe that Usyk has got what it takes to deal with Breedis. What did Breedis do as an amateur, by the way? Evening Ingram, shout out to Uncle Bashir. Absolutely. Mark Wheeler, sorry, I saw Usyk's documentary. It's a good watch. Usyk boxes Bellew's head off. Bellew knows. Tony Bellew knows. He's saying he's the best cruiserweight in the world and saying that Usyk gives him problems. Listen, listen, he's going to want to get paid a lot of money, Tony Bellew, to face Alexander Usyk, because there's no way he's going to want to lose that WBC belt in quickly. I can't see. There's no way I can see Bellew in a rush to fight Alexander Usyk. He's been saying it for years that he's the one guy that he feared or he had problem. He's concerned about. But let's see how he does against BJ Flores first and foremost. He's done good against Makubu for the championship. Let's see what happens next. Lee O'Donnell says game plan spot on from Team Usyk. What a performance! Anyone who doubts Uncle Bashir's boxing knowledge should listen to any of his interviews on Bayloric TV. Thanks for a shout out there, Lee. Really appreciate that. Lebedev Usyk is a good fight, says Gav Scott. I agree there. Redmond says Bellew will fight Lebedev. Well, yeah, let's see him get past BJ Flores first. Let's see how he does against BJ Flores first. That will be interesting. People expect him to get past BJ Flores. Let's see him get past BJ Flores. And let's see how he looks against BJ Flores. I think Bellew has problems now. He has. Tony Bellew, I've always said that. I've always said Bellew's a good boxer. But I think Bellew's going to have problems with Usyk because of the footwork. Bellew doesn't pick his feet up. Bellew's very flat-footed and looks for power. So I truly believe that Bellew's going to have to pick his feet up and he's going to have to throw his punches with much more accuracy and a lot more fluidity against someone like Usyk, because Usyk will box rings around just by using his feet. Ross Clark 222 says, great fight, Bashir trainer of the year. Well, it might be Joe Gallagher. Anyway, Michael Redman, Mark Flores. Rafferty Don. Yo, Ingram, good show. Prolific genius. Good to see you in the room, my friend. Boxing legends. Lebedev will likely lose his upcoming fight against Glassif, GGG's training partner. Okay, yes, if he's trained by Abel Sanchez, then I'll look into that as well. So we'll look into that. I think people had doubts about Usyk because they didn't know whether he was able to step up to the next level. We know people in the past who have been amateurs, spectacular amateurs, and when they fight the pros, they've not done it. Usyk was able to do it from the amateurs to the pros, and I tell you something, they're heavy. Okay, let's give you something here. Do you see Usyk winning a world title at heavyweight? Have you seen his footwork? Do you see what he did to Joe Joyce? I think to myself, he's got the footwork to imagine. Okay, I don't want to jump and start saying Usyk is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But imagine Usyk in the ring with someone like Anthony Joshua. I mean, you might say actually Anthony Joshua's big, but so is Joe Joyce. But when you look at footwork, he would give Joshua nightmares because Joshua's very flat-footed, he's very heavy, and you can see Usyk boxing behind a good left jab and giving movement, and he has the frame, giving movement, and then putting punches together and stopping someone like Joshua late. You can see it because Joshua's very flat-footed, and Joshua's punches. He's fast for a heavyweight, but you've got to remember Usyk's boxed at a cruiserweight, so you would have seen punches coming a lot faster at him, which is going to give him. He would give AJ absolute fits and nightmares. So there's a fight right there that I would have no problem sticking Usyk win with AJ based on footwork. It's the footwork. It's going to get him in range, get him out of range, and get him to the sides. You saw Usyk. He wasn't just moving in one direction. You saw him move in, you saw him move out, you saw him move to left, you move to right. You saw him even turn his body to one point and have Glowacki looking the other direction and able to ping him with short left hooks, 3 and 4 left hooks at a time. Tremendous. Mike Redmond, CCR29 says, world champion after 9 fights, impressive. Michael Redmond, Usyk, real deal, plain to see. Usyk has a frame to go to heavyweight. He says Usyk would ping AJ all night. Now, also consider this: Lomachenko on his first attempt at having winning a world title. Think about this. He failed. Lomachenko, the great Lomachenko, failed against another experienced fighter. So it's not easy. He's done something great. Usyk beats Holyfield's record of winning world title in shortest frame of time. Exactly. Amazing. Sky didn't mention that. Usyk versus Brides for cruiserweight would be a great fight. Del Boy says that. Great. John D. Well says the thing about Povetkin versus Usyk as a dream matchup. Well, I tell you, Bumeister may deal with Povetkin if he's in shape and he's in top form. Not many big men have stamina and footwork like Usyk. That's the thing. It's the footwork you got to look out. Carmen Boxon says he's a heavyweight waiting to happen. But when, Baylor? I think what Bashir said to me, they want to clean up the cruiserweight division. Clean up the cruiserweight. He said first, Usyk wanted to become the first. He wanted to be a cruiserweight, which got the title before or in shorter time than Evander Holyfield. He's done that. I think Usyk is going to unify the division at cruiserweight, and then he's going to move up to heavyweight. I don't think they're going to hang around and mess around too much in the cruiserweight division. Not under Bashir. I think Bashir's going to be pushing for Cruz to. I mean, you look at his skill set and his ability. I mean, why do you want to push him around fighting bums or fighting guys that are far below him? He's going to want to fight guys that are his. How many guys do you see giving Alexander Usyk problems? The footwork, the power, the movement, the chin, the defense. How many guys in the cruiserweight division giving problems? I know he's got a lot of work, Del Boy 94 at the cruiserweight division. I loved hoping to hear you interview Bashir for post-fight thoughts. I will interview him, and of course, you know we've got Bashir, we've got exclusivity to him, so I'll be talking to him shortly. I don't know if I've got my phone on me to see. Hello, excuse me, hello. Can somebody pass me my phone, please? My mobile phone. I'm going to try and see if I can get Bashir on the line now. If you use my mobile phone, where's my mobile? My one over there, yeah, please. Yeah, try that and see if I can catch him on the Imagine Usyk versus Vladimir, dilemma for Bashir. No, I don't think it's a dilemma for Bashir. I think you go with Usyk every time because remember, I can answer that one for you. Vladimir made him his number 2 instead of making him his number 1. Usyk took him as his number 1. So who's he got loyalty to? Usyk or Vladimir? I'll answer that one for you. Go straight with Usyk. So yeah, and you know when Vladimir and Usyk used to spar, Vladimir used to close. You heard it. It was behind closed doors because of what Usyk was doing to Vladimir. And wasn't Vladimir to some people considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all time? So I mean that doesn't bode well for some heavyweights. Mark Wheeler, it says how about Usyk's fast hands? He's light on his feet. You don't see men in that size. He's got good balance between a defense and attack, and lets his hands go. I'm a fan. Yes, of course, but he has a mental dilemma. I don't think it's a mental dilemma at all, Michael. I don't think it is. I mean, he brought Jonathan Banks into the camp when Jonathan Banks was still a young boy and was using Banks as a sparring partner, and the manager didn't want him in camp. Manager didn't want Banks in camp, didn't rate him. But Bashir stuck by Banks and brought Banks in to spar with Klitschko, got him. You know, but I don't think it. I don't think it's a mental dilemma at all. But then you know, we'll see. Let me see if I can get Bashir now. I might not get him because they're probably at a post-fight press conference. Sparring is sparring. Yeah, well, I think evidence flex tonight is what you saw tonight and what you saw against Joe Joyce. You've got evidence that wasn't sparring. So I don't think sparring is sparring. Sparring is what's got Usyk in the shape that he's got himself into to do what he's doing now. So sparring is the evidence for Bashir. And then Glassiri was another guy at cruiserweight who would be a great fight for Usyk indeed. So I don't agree with you there, Flex, sparring is sparring, because I saw things in sparring. So, you know, you get to see a guy's movement, what a guy can do moving in and out. All that stuff is done in sparring. So sparring's very important. Very, very important. And you know, I've heard a lot of the Vladimir stories in sparring and what's happened. And when you've got a guy doing that sort of stuff, you can see it for yourself. You can see. You don't have to see the sparring session to see Usyk's footwork and his boxing ability. Usyk beats Wilder and takes the belt. Usyk, in truth, though, footwork isn't real for a guy 6'3". You've got to go back and look at what Bashir has been doing with him. The footwork is the foundation for your boxing. Don't care how big a puncher you are. If you haven't got good footwork to get in and out to the sides, you're in trouble. So let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can give you guys exclusive at the moment. I said I would call him, but you know, he could be at a press conference now, so who knows? His phone's going to be off the hook, I can tell you. Oh, it's not. Maybe he's got it in the locker room. I did hear Lomachenko's trained Usyk for one fight. His dad. They could be at a press conference at the moment. There's post-fight. I don't think Bashir is going to be on Skype when they're at a press conference. And he's got the post-fight press conference, the celebrations and all that stuff. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I know he's going to be watching Smith versus Canelo. So yes, I'm trying to get the exclusive for you. I'll hear from him. He'll call me later. Mike Redmond says, glad it's getting its props for the fighters to make some coinage. Modern broadcast says, don't you just love the cruiserweights? Indeed. Skype, Mrs. Michael Redmond. Yes, Lomachenko dad trained both of them. He did. Point, fair play, Ingram. He did train both of them. I think he trained for one fight. But you know, full play to Usyk said that he wanted. I'd have to watch this guy fight Glowacki fight. I'd have to see him fight. But you know, we'll see. That's another fight, and we'll see what that guy Glowacki does against Lebedev first. He's got a good fight there. Let's see him beat Lebedev, and we'll see from there Contender 9. So let's see the Lebedev fight. Lebedev hits like a beast, so you know he's gonna have to take some big shots from Lebedev. So we'll see what happens. Is Lebedev old in the tooth now? Who knows? Could be an older fighter now. Who knows? Yeah. Is there any other thoughts I was going to mention? Yeah, that's just another guy that's joined the Bayloric camp. Usyk rules that right. Who can trouble that? I don't think there are going to be many. You see, you can remember, it's all right having a big punch, okay? But I keep telling you guys, the footwork is the key. Footwork. Yeah, Lebedev is on the slide. Footwork is the key. So for you to be able to land your big shots, you've got to be in position to land your shots. Okay? So it's all right calling guys' names out, but you've got to see, well, have they got the footwork to match? And then look at who their trainers are. I mean, he's got Abel Sanchez in the corner. I think is Gassivi's. And I'll talk to Abel about him as well. So I'll get on to Abel about that, so we can pull him in and have a word with him as well. But yeah, I just think, you know, for those people who've been on Bayloric TV and have watched Bayloric, and since I first started talking to Bashir back in 2013, you know, myself and Bashir have gone back and forth about certain fights. And then we had the big fight between Klitschko and Fury. And of course, Fury, we were getting closer. Bright Jennings versus Klitschko. And then we had Klitschko versus Fury. And then Fury becoming world champion. And then now Bashir has gone through that point and now has got a world champion himself. Fantastic. Redmond says, tough sucker, but is over the mountain top now. Instead, dangerous assailant is Popeye. Yes, he is. Don't count Lebedev off. He's got that left hand. I'm telling you. And Marco Huck, from what I understand, in that fight against Glowacki, was weight trained. So I understand he didn't make the weight right. Hence why he tied so badly down the stretch against Glowacki. So I think you may have had one like blip there with Huck. How much Huck's got left? I mean, he's been in wars with McKenzie. So I don't know how much Huck's got left himself. Bashir was brilliant after Fury won. Fair play, Bashir, coming on after Vlad lost. It would be funny now. How ironic would be that Klitschko lost against Fury for the second time and Bashir sails into the sunset with Usyk, and Usyk becomes the most dominant force in cruiserweight boxing and then goes on to be one of the most dominant fighters in heavyweight boxing. There's nothing to suggest he won't. You saw how good Evander was, and you saw what it took for someone to beat Evander. And I would think that Usyk is far more defensively responsible than Evander Holyfield. Usyk is naturally a bigger man than Evander Holyfield. How hard he hits as a heavyweight, we won't know. But and Glowacki takes a hell of a shot. And you think he took 3-4 shots together? It was amazing how he took those shots. So is Glowacki got a great chin? He's never been knocked out. He's been dropped by Huck. Usyk couldn't do that. So it'll be interesting. Very interesting to see what happens from this onwards. Hope he does. Love to see Bashir riding high in the heavyweights with his new charge. I would love to see that too. I would love to see that too. What's gutting for me is that I would love to see that fight Usyk versus Glowacki should have been HBO. Glowacki's got a head like granite. He has. He's got a great chin. I'd see a fight I wouldn't mind seeing. Glowacki versus Povetkin at heavyweight. How about that for a fight? Or Glowacki versus Stavern at heavyweight. I think Glowacki's quite a big guy himself. He's he's a little shorter than Usyk though. I'd still like to see Glowacki in the heavyweight division. He's tough. He's strong as nails, tough as nails. Glowacki's got some great fights. He has. He could do some work. Yeah, it wasn't Showtime. Jimmy Lennon Jr. was MC. Was he on Showtime? I didn't know it was on Showtime. Parker versus Usyk is a great fight if Usyk moved up. There we go. Look at that. Usyk's got his. I think Parker's got his own issues to deal with against Dimitrenko. That's a good fight he's got, Parker v Dimitrenko. It has been announced, by the way, while we're talking and while we're in here and we're talking on, it has been announced that Ian Lewison versus Dillian Whyte has been signed, sealed for October. The same night that another Bayloric boxer has been on, the guest has been on the show. Kev Hooper is going to be fighting for the British title, the British lightweight title, against Scotty Cardell. So we wish Hooper all the best. And another regular to the show, Stuart Howe, is actually the NLP coach, although the guy who does the mental coaching for Kevin Hooper. So that's another guy who's been a regular on Bayloric TV. So yeah, I think that's gonna be great. Dillian Whyte versus Ian Lewison. Ian Lewison can crack. Don't sleep in Ian Lewison. If Lewison can get himself in shape, he's a good fighter. I've always rated Ian Lewison. He just hasn't stepped up yet. So what can I tell you about Ian Lewison? I can tell you that he's granite chin. He was a very good amateur. I think did he beat Orlando Solis in the amateurs? Yeah, and I think he beat David Price in the amateurs as well. But Lewison's got to win in the first couple of rounds. You know who Lewison sort of reminds me of? Do you remember the guy that Lennox Lewis fought in his comeback fight? Lionel Butler. He kind of reminds me of Lionel Butler. Big, strong, short, compact, dangerous with hooks early. But once you start getting 4 or 5 rounds in, then you can start to out-jab him and beat him up. But the first couple of rounds, first 3 rounds, Lewison versus Dillian Whyte is going to be explosive. And it's a local derby as well. Lewison's coming off some good wins in China, winning those belts. Great opportunity for Lewison, who's been hanging around a while. And I know that Lewison said to me, if you go back and look on Bayloric TV again, Lewison talked about how he wanted to fight Hughie Fury. He was really up for the Hughie Fury fight. So I don't know how that, obviously that fight hasn't happened, and Hughie is now going to fight Andy Ruiz and has moved on a bit. But 6 rounds. I know you're saying Michael Redmond's saying that the fight will go 6 rounds. It'll be done by 6 rounds. But the question is, will Dillian Whyte still be around in 6 rounds? This is going to be a real good fight. This is going to be a real good fight. I actually think that Lewison's more talented than Chisora. I just think that Chisora works harder than Lewison, or he has done. I think Lewison's a bigger puncher than Chisora. I think Lewison's amateur pedigree was better than Chisora's. So interesting. Stavern, AJ will not be fighting Stavern next. I can categorically confirm that for you. Pulev is the guy that they're talking about at the moment. Parker's got Dimitrenko, so it's probably Pulev, if anything. But they talk about Pulev. I expect to see Molina in the ring with Molina or Duhaupas. Those are the 2 guys I expect to see in the ring with Joshua, and not Pulev. Um, uh, Modern broadcast says they might as well make this a 6-rounder because anything after that won't be good to watch. I tell you what, I tell you what, I would love to watch Lewison versus White, 3-rounder. Lewison versus I think 3-rounder prize fighter final. I wouldn't mind watching that. I would actually pay to watch that fight. 3 rounds of absolute back and forth. I'd love to see that. Willie Lim ducking O'Hara Davis, shame. Yeah, the Willie Lim that fought. Didn't Willie Lim go and fight Eric Morales in Mexico? Didn't he fight Amir Khan, Willie Lim? I don't think he's ducking him somehow. I know what you mean. I know. Prediction on Monroe. Rosado, I would go with Monroe, better boxer. Don't rate Rosado. Wake me up when AJ fights someone who's alive. Until then, yeah. Monroe TKO, I'd go with that. You'll be sleeping a couple of years, mate. Monroe, unanimous decision, I think so. Monroe's a better technical boxer. My problem with Monroe is you have to hit him on the chin and drop him before he starts throwing punches back. But I hope he's learned his lesson from the Golovkin fight. Yeah, Alex Arthur fought Morales, I think Alex Arthur fought Morales. Lemon dropped Amir Khan when Amir Khan was running for everyone. And then people realized that Khan had some chin problems. Oh, fight tonight with Smith versus Canelo. I think Smith's going to go to Canelo's body early. He looked very drawn. He'll probably be up somewhere like 185 tonight. He did. Lemon dropped Khan. He dropped Khan. I'm sure he went to Mexico and fought Morales. But no, I don't think Alex Arthur fought Morales though. Alex Arthur fought what's the guy he fought and got beat up by? Michael Gomez got knocked out by Michael Gomez. So yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Let's see if I can get Bashir on the phone to you guys again. Let me try again. He might have come out the press conference. Go try and call Bashir again. Yeah, I was talking about Smith and Canelo. And my thoughts were about Smith and Canelo that Smith's got to go to Canelo's body and test him. All right, I'm not getting through to him on okay, let me try him on WhatsApp. See, try and chase up these exclusives for you. I love Scott Harrison. That's my boy there, Scott Harrison. Remember when he fought Medina, he lost the title and he came straight back and he beat him. Man, I love Scott Harrison. That guy was a world champion. I loved him. Proper loved him. Let me see if I can get him. I suspect he's probably still. I don't think he's gone back to the hotel room yet. It's probably going to be a late night for Bashir. Canelo shaves his pubes to make weight. Not a middleweight, says Oscar. You know, tonight, Liam Smith, he's probably the biggest and strongest guy Liam Smith fought in his career. I can see Canelo dropping Smith with a body shot, you know. But I could be wrong there. I really hope Smith beats Canelo tonight. I really hope, just because of the way Canelo talked to that crap about Gennady Golovkin and didn't follow through with it. And I don't think it's Canelo. I think it's for I think Oscar didn't fancy his chances. He looked so drained at making 154. Yeah, it's got to. So Gallagher will be telling. I think what Gallagher is going to be telling Smith to do. Watch it. Tuck up tight, mate. Tuck up tight, mate. Walk him back to ropes and work the body shots in. Tuck up tight, mate. Get close and work to the body, mate. That's it. I tell you, He's going to be weak to the body. You look how drained he looks. Work to the body, work to the body, work him to the body, work it. I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're going to try and do tonight against Canelo. Work the body, and try and hope that it slows Canelo down. But what Smith's going to be facing when he gets in there, and the power Smith's going to be dealing with, is another thing altogether. Because I can see Smith getting whacked around the body and getting hit. And, you know, Smith's a good fighter. And I think this fight would have been a good fight a year down the line. Smith mixing it with world-class fighters. I just don't think that this is the bridge too far for me. Smith needs to not get caught early. If he gets to 7, then Smith could start to come on, especially as Canelo struggles with the weight later on. He will slow. Yeah, I see that, but he's got to be around. It's all right having those game plans. Well, you know, we're going to take him in the second half of the fight and then we're going to drown him. Yeah, but what happens? What about the first half of the fight and you get clipped and you got knocked down and knocked out? What happens then? Yeah, Floyd's been training recently, but Floyd's just trying to keep himself in shape. I can't imagine Floyd walking around with a pot belly. Modern broadcast, exactly. Joe just looks for that left to the body. He's such an overrated trainer. LOL, that was an old video of Floyd training. Yeah, I heard that as well. Lomachenko pound for pound. When will we see some decent opposition for Loma? By the way, what happened to the Axeman, Nicholas Walters? Because anyone know what happened to Nicholas Walters? Smith is cashing out. He's getting stopped in mid-round. That's what I think. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. He smiled, says Copen09. Gav Scott says, Liam has been sparring Callum. Canelo will not stop him. Liam will make Canelo look bad late on in the fight. Getting the decision in Dallas is like negotiating with the cartel. It doesn't happen. He does it for the cameras. He's coming back. Okay. Maybe he's coming back. If he was going to come back, I would have thought he'd have fought Danny Garcia in the comeback as a comeback fight. Listen, Mayweather's going to fight nobody who's a mover. He's going to fight somebody who's flat-footed and doesn't move his head very much, so he can just launch a straight right hand and can sit in the pocket. Don't matter if they're a puncher. It's not going to be a problem with Mayweather. He's just going to fight guys who just don't move their feet very much. Lomachenko is fighting Corrales, who beat. Okay, good fight. Mayweather versus Canelo. That's not going to happen. And what's going to make the difference? Canelo's not any faster. Canelo's older, but he's not any faster. Lomo versus Corrales is a very good fight if it gets made. Where is the Axeman? Nicholas Walters. Where is he? No, I didn't see that fight. Sorry, I didn't see that fight. I've been out all day. I think that, and I think that fight happened either. It happened yesterday, did not, Moran? I didn't see that fight. Sorry. Cincinnati Mayo, Floyd misses Canelo. There you go. Canelo flat-footed as hell. There you go. No flat-footed fighter is beating Floyd Mayweather. Forget it. Get out of your head. Footwork. Forget it. Flat-footed. You flat-footed, then you've got every time you go throw punches, you're going to set. And as you set, straight right hand. As you set, straight right hand. As you turn, straight right hand. Left jab, right hand. Oscar De La Hoya, another one. Flat-footed, come forward. Flat-footed, come forward fighters will not beat Floyd. Forget it. Where's Rigondeaux is a better question. I don't know. He's with Frank Warren, isn't he? He signed a deal with Frank Warren. Exactly. Biggest pay-per-view available for Floyd. Is it? Really? Biggest pay-per-view available for Floyd is Gennady Golovkin. You know, here's a point. If Brook can come up 2 divisions and fight Gennady, then Gennady can go up 2 divisions and fight Ward. That's my point in it. I hear Axeman is trying to get out of his top-ranked contract. Could be rumors, but it's strange he's not fight active. That makes sense. Most guys do that when they don't want to be. They just run down the contract and then come out of contract afterwards. So he's probably trying to run his contract down. But I think, well, if you know, I'm sure that Al Heyman could buy him out of that contract if that's the case. I'm sure Al Heyman would love to have the Axeman. Let's see. Try to call Bashir a few times for you guys. Yeah, getting a message now from UAE, Ukrainian boxing, and just to say that our videos have been taken by the Telegraph of the Ukrainian Sports or the Telegraph. The Telegraph we've got in the UK is the equivalent of the Telegraph that's in Ukraine, and they took a couple of videos and put it on their online website. So thank you to Ukraine Telegraph. Shout out to them. I've got to do a couple of shout outs as well. Shout out to Ring News 24. Fantastic online blog, boxing forum, boxing news. Ring News 24. Follow them on Twitter. Check them out. Bob Day's the man. And a shout out to him because he set it up for Bayloric TV to be able to, at the last minute, come in and get you the coverage for Brook versus Golovkin. I had no intention of going to it. And then at the last minute, things changed around and he was able to sort things out for me. So shout out to Ring News 24. Great guys at Ring News 24. So shout out to them. Of course it is. Canelo sells more pay-per-views than Gennady Golovkin. Floyd would just fight a Mexican on Mexican holiday. Simple as that. Smart thing to do. I think so. Smart business sense. But why would Floyd leave it so late to come back and fight Canelo again? Why would you? I think it's... Why would you? Why would you want to go? Unless he thinks he'll beat Canelo again that easy. Who knows? I'm going to end this pretty soon because we've got the... just before I end, I'd just like to hear your comments on various interviews that have been done. Michelle Joy Phelps, the Eddie Hearn interview, the Usyk interview, the Tom Loeffler interview. What do you think of those interviews? Did you get to watch them? Anthony Joshua will be the next heavyweight dominant champion after Klitschko. Humble opinion from a Ukraine fan, and just until Usyk steps up. Yeah, well, I think we can't jump and say Joshua going to be a dominant force until he fights somebody of real note. I think we have to hold our breath and see what happens when Joshua steps up in levels. Right, cheers, mate. Catch you later. Right, I think I'm going to be going myself. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. Alexander Usyk, cruiserweight champion of the world. We did it. And all you haters, and you know who you are. This message to all you haters. Bashir is now a world champion coach, a world champion mentor, and his fighter followed his game plan right to the T. What more can you say? He beat glowacki, who you thought he'd get beat by. So shout out to... Do I have Canelo winning the fight? Yeah, I think so. I just don't think Liam Smith has fought anyone in the class. So big shout to everyone across the Ukraine. You've got a great champion there. I can see why in Ukraine you see Usyk as he's like a pop star, like a movie star over there. I can see that and I understand that. Embrace him, love him, because you've got a great fighter there and a guy who could go on and become heavyweight champion of the world. Could he go on and eclipse what Evander Holyfield's done? He's beat him in the cruiserweight division in terms of the time it took. What a great fight would have been. Evander Holyfield against Usyk. You know that Holyfield didn't like movers. Would be a great fight at their times. Imagine Evander Holyfield, at that time, and Alexander Usyk at that time. Usyk and Holyfield, those two at that time. So shout out to the Ukrainians. Shout out to UA Boxing News. Shout out to the Telegraph in Ukraine and anyone else in the Ukrainians that tune in and have watched Bayloric TV. Okay, shout out as well to K2 Promotions, who have also taken coverage and what we've done and translated our work and followed the Bashir story between myself and Bashir. So Modern Broadcast says Holyfield is and will always be the greatest cruiserweight ever. Well, let's see. Holyfield is a great cruiserweight, but I think we could have another great cruiserweight in Alexander Usyk. Another great fight I would love to see is Usyk versus David Haye. How would he have done against David Haye? Alexander Usyk against Dwight Muhammad Qawi. How would Usyk have done in that short little amount of fights? Bomber B Psychopath says not anymore. Well, Usyk's already broken one record, so he is the world record holder in terms of becoming a world champion in the cruiserweight division. He is, yes. Thank you for the link there for Canelo versus Liam Smith. This is me shouting at, yep, a new era begins in the cruiserweight division. Poor old Tony Bellew. His best chance is to go and fight Lebedev and avoid Usyk because he could end up embarrassing because he's, again, flat-footed. This has been Ingram Jones and Baylor TV. And the new WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Alexander Usyk. I'm out. Take care.